lot of basic principles of linguistics, like units of sound, sound changes, all kinds of things like that. Dialects class, how many different unique sounds are there in American English? Mac. 52, that's correct. And so there's 26 letters in the alphabet. There's 52 unique sounds in American English that are, correlated to the letters, but not exactly. How many sound changes are there into our first dialect today, which is Southern American, traditional Southern American? 5. 13. 13. There are 13 different sound changes into Southern American. How many are there into RP, our second dialect? Gia?
10.
10, that's right. And just for fun, how many are there into Cockney? Yes, me.
34.
There are 34 sound changes from Standard American to Cockney, which means the Cockney is 3/4 different sounds than Standard American, which is a lot. What you will hear today are 2 different dialects. One is traditional Southern, mostly with no R coloring, although there are some R colored holdouts, which is fine. And then the other is received pronunciation, the quote-unquote high-class dialect from England. It's a created dialect that was sort of invented in a library somewhere because they wanted everyone in England to speak like King George, who had a German accent. Does anyone know what the difference between a dialect and an accent is? Hi.
A dialect is how you speak your native language,
Yep.
An accent is how you speak a foreign.
Exactly. So these are 2 different dialects of American English. Enjoy.
Jack was a-going about over the country one time. Happened to pass by a place where a man had been robbing boys. Saw a little piece and picked it up. Started to whittling on it. Jack was so lazy he never noticed much what he was doing till he done made himself a little paddle. Didn't know what he'd do with it, just carried it along. Directly he came to a muddy place in the road where a lot of little blue butterflies had lit down to drink. So Jack slipped up right close to them and came down with the paddle right in the middle of them. Splat! Then he kind of see how many he killed. Went down the road, came to a blacksmith shop. He got the blacksmith to take some brads and make him a sign in big letters on his belt. Buckled that around him and went on.
Pretty soon, here came the king on his horse, says,
Hello, Jack. Howdy do, King. What's all that writing you got around you, Jack? Turn around so I can read it.
the old king read it off.
Strong man Jack killed 7 out of whack. You mean you done killed 7 at one? You do pretty nigh anything, didn't you?
Well,
Says Jack.
I don't know. I pulled a few.
You're up to that. There's a big wild hog been tearing around my settlement, killing lots of sheep. If you help us get shed of that hog, I'll pay you $1,000. All my men are scared of it.
Well,
Says Jack.
I'll try.
So the king took Jack over the mountain where the wild hog was using. Finally got up in a hollow ways. He turned his horse around and says,
You go on up in the mountain and find it, Jack. I got important business back home.
and the king gave his horse a lick and made it go back in a hurry. Jack, he know that if the king was scared of that hog, it must be awful dangerous. Decided he'd just not get fixed up with such a rhyming. Said he'd wait a little while and then he'd slip out and get away before that old hog smelled him. Well, directly Jack got to a plundering round in there trying to get out. Heard that hog a breaking brush up in the mountain, and then he started coming. So Jack get out into the woods, him and the hog.
Whippity cut, whippity cut, whippity cut.
And the wild dog riding behind.
Jack looked behind and saw them getting closer. They say Jack commenced jumping 15 feet every step, but the old hog kept right on again. Jack came out in the field, looked down at a ways and saw an old base house, standing there with no roof on it. Jack made for that house, ran in the door, and scrambled up the wall. That old hog was so close it grabbed hold of Jack's tail. But Jack was going so fast it jerked his coattail from off. Jack got on top of the wall, looked down at that hole, standing there with his 4 feet up on the logs, looking up after him. Then Jack jumped down and ran around outside, pushed the door and popped it up real quick with some timber. Saw the hog couldn't get out, so he pulled back to the king's house.
Hello, Jack. Did you do any good?
Why, no, King. I couldn't find no wild hog up there. Hunted all over the mountain. Didn't see nothing.
Why, Jack, that old hog just makes for everybody goes up there. You must have seen it.
Well, there wasn't nothing but a little old bull coat. Came bristling up to me, kept following me around. I ran it off a time or two, but it kept tagging after me. The blade thing got playful after a while, jumped up and jerked a piece out my coat tail. That made me a little mad, so I took it by the tail of the ear and throwed it in an old waste house up there, barred it in. I don't reckon that was what you wanted. You can go up and see if you wanted.
When the king rode up there and saw it was that wild hog, he liked to beat his horse to death getting back. Blow his horn and 50 or 60 men came running up. They took a lot of chicken slingshots, went up on top of their old house, but they were so scared they wouldn't go close enough to shoot at it. So finally, Jackie went up down there, poked around with a slingshot, and shot 2 or 3 chickens. That old hog went tearing around, tore that house plumb down, and scampered out of town. The king paid Jack $1,000, and Jack started to pull out for home. The king called him, says,
I got another job for you, Jack. They say there's a unicorn using back here on the doing a side of damage to people's livestock. It's a lot more dangerous than that hog, but a brave fellow like you oughtn't to have no trouble with it. I'll pay you another $1,000 too.
well, Jack tried to back out of it, but he saw he couldn't. So the king took him up there where the wild unicorn was, turned it around his horse and just burned the wind. Jack went up to the king, walked the king out of sight, says,
$1,000 will do me right long while. I don't want to get mixed up with no unicorn. I'll get out of here and go back another way. I'm not going to fool around here and get killed.
But Jack hadn't gone very far before he heard that vomit break the bridge and it coming straight down the mountain. So Jack started running around and amongst the trees as hard as he could tear. Looked around directly and saw that old unicorn so close to him, it was just about to make a lunge and stick that horn right through the middle of his back. Jack reached out and grabbed hold on a white oak tree, swung round behind it. The unicorn swerved at him, hit that oak tree, and stove his home plumb through it. Home came out the other side, and like two stuck Jack. Tommy saw that, he snatched some nails out in his overhaul pocket, grabbed up a rock right quick, and wedged the horn in tight. Then he got him a switch and swung the unicorn a few times to see it could break loose. Saw it couldn't, so he pulled back on down to the king's house.
What luck did you have this time, Jack?
Why, King, I didn't see no unicorn.
Now that's a curious thing to me, Jack. Nobody else ever went in there but what that old unicorn came right for him. What did you see, Jack?
Nothing much, just some kind of little old yearling bull. Didn't have but one home. Came down there acting big, a bawling and pawing on the ground. Got to following around pretty close. Hauling through a tree. I reckon it's still fastened up there where I left it at. We can all go on up and see if you want it.
So Jack took the king and his men up where the unicorn was. They wouldn't none of them brave enough to get close and see that unicorn was good and stuffed. So Jack went on up to it, cut a little branch and switched it 2 or 3 times.
Harm in him.
That's Glenn down. King pays back another $1,000, says,
Now, Jack, they just brought word here that a line had come over the mountains from somewhere in Tennessee. Been making raids on a settlement over the other end of this county, killing everything that comes across. Cattle and horses, and they say it done killed several men try to go after it. I told them about you, Jack, and they made me promise to send you.
Well, Ken, that sounds like the dangerous thing of all.
I'll pay you another $1,000, Jack.
I don't know as I feel working for right now, Ken. They'll be worried about me if I don't get back home before dark. Besides, my daddy's cutting firewood and he needs me bad.
Come on now, Jack. I'll pay you $2,000.
Well, I don't know. I'll have to study on it a while.
Here's $1,000 right now, Jack, and I'll pay you the other $1,000 when you get it gone. I'd sure like to get shit of that line.
I reckon I'll do it then.
over where they said the line was YASI. The king says,
Now, Jack, that line's right up in yonder somewhere. I'll not venture any further.
Jack slipped off the horse. The king turned him around and says,
When it smells you, Jack, you'll sure hear from it.
and then the king left there yelling. Well, Jack felt that $3,000 he had down in his overhaul pocket, said he'd try and get out there for good and go on back home. Before it really hardly took a step or two, that old lad smelled him coming soaring up there in the woods, poured so hard it dried him out.
Then Jack saw it coming, tearing down the trees, breaking logs in two, busting rocks wide open. Jack didn't waste no time trying to run. He made for the tree nearest him and skinned up it like a squirrel. He did the top. The old lion growled down there, smelled up the tree a time or two, and then went right into Nob. And it was a sight in the world how the bark in the splinters flew. It nearly shook Jack out of the tree. But it seemed like the lion got tired when he had the tree about half knocked through. He quit, laid up against the foot of the tree, and went sound asleep.
Jack waited a while so his heart quit beating so fast, then he allowed he might have a chance to slip down and get away from Jack before the old lion woke up. So he started sliding down the tree. He was keeping such close watch on that lion's eyes to see would he wake up or not. Jack never noticed when he set his foot on a brick to snag. The was waiting that rotten limb hip broke. And Jack went, that lion started roaring, jumping around. Jack, he just held on. Then the old lion got to running. He was so scared he didn't know he was headed right for town. Got on the public highway and kept running, kept right on to the next thing Jack knew, they were sailing around the courthouse.
All the people were running in the stores and climbing trees, getting out of the way, and everybody shouting and hollering. And the king's men came and started in trying to slingshot the lion without hitting Jack. And finally, one of them rolled a bead on the old lion's head and tumbled him and Jack up. That was about enough for that old lion, and he hightailed it out of town faster than you could say Jack Robinson. Jack picked himself up out of the dirt and commenced brushing it off. The king came along right soon, and Jack says to him,
Look at here, King. I'm mad.
"Why? How come, Jack?"
These men have done shit your line.
My line? What do you mean, Jack?
Why, I did not get shit of it for $3,000, King. After I'd caught it and gonna get it genned up, now, dads, your men have done shoot it. I was just riding it down here to get it broke in for you a rider horse.
So the old king went over to where his men were and raised the rumpus with them, says,
Why, I felt a big riding that line around. Now you men will have to raise Jack $3,000 for shedding on the line.
So Jack went home after that, had a whole pile of money down his old ragged overall pocket. And the last time I went down there, Jack was still rich, and I don't think he's worked any yet.
One of about a boy named Jack. It's called Jack and the Varmints. The next sections are from Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Christmas Eve night, we and our guests gather in the great the house of Godric Gryffindor. I will not have in the course of a single evening besmirching that name by behaving like a babbling, bumbling band of baboons. Earlier today, Professor Moody pitched the Triwizard's Cup deep within the maze. Only he knows its exact position. Now, as Mr. Digger and Mr. Potter tie for first position, they will be the first to enter the maze, followed by Mr. Crump. The first person to touch the cup will be the winner. I have instructed the staff to patrol the perimeter. If at any point should a contestant wish to withdraw from the task, he or she need only send a red sparks with their warnings. Contestants gather round. People changing the food yourself. A few drops of your blood will do, eh, Harry? Put up your warm fire. I said, get up. You've been taught to do like presume. First we bow to each other. Come on now, Harry, the niceties must be observed. Dumbledore will not want you to be unmannered, now would he? I said bow.
The Yule Ball has been a tradition of the Triwizard Tournament since its inception. On Christmas Eve night, we and our guests gather in the Great Hall. Evening,
The practical purses will add you a do.
For first position, they will be the first to enter the maze.
followed by Mr. Crown. The first person to touch the cup will be the winner. I've instructed the staff to patrol the perimeter. If at any point should a contestant wish to withdraw from the task, he or she need only send up red sparks with their wands. Contestants, gather round. In the maze, you'll find no dragons or creatures of the deep. Instead, you'll face something more challenging. You see, people change in the maze. Oh, find the cup if you can, but be very wary. You could just lose yourselves along the way.
Attaboy, Harry. Your parents will be proud, especially your filthy, molded mother. I'm going to kill you, Harry Potter. I'm going to destroy you. After tonight, no one will ever, and I, being your merciful Lord, obeys. Get up. Don't you turn your back on me, Harry Potter. I want you to look at me when I kill you. I want to see the lights leave your eyes.
Ministry of Malcontent, and your new defense against the dark arts teacher. I'm here because Dumbledore asked me. End of story, goodbye, the end. Any questions? When it comes to 3 unforgivable curses, use any one of them will earn you a one-way ticket to Azkaban. Now, the ministry is different. You need to know what you're up against. You need to be prepared. You need to find somewhere else to put your chewing gum other than the underside of your desk, Mr. Finnegan.
Harry, I'd almost forgotten you were here. Standing on the bones of my... But word has it you're almost as famous as... Shall I... Potter gave her life for her only son...
Marvelous creatures, dragons, aren't they? Do you think that miserable oaf would have led you into the woods if I hadn't suggested it? Do you think Cedric Diggory would have told you to hold the egg under the water if I hadn't have told him first myself? Do you think Neville Longbottom, the witless wonder, could have provided if I went straight to it? Huh? You won because I made it so, Potter. You ended up in that graveyard tonight because it was meant to be so. And now the deed is done. The blood that runs through these veins runs within the Dark Lord. Imagine how he will reward me when he learns I have once and for all silenced the great Harry Potter.
Harry, I'd almost forgotten you were here, standing on the bones of my father. I'd introduce you, but word has it you're almost as famous as me these days. The boy who lived, how life protection.
Do you think Cedric provided you with Harry Potter?
Marvelous creatures, dragons, aren't they? Do you think that miserable oaf would have led you into the woods if I hadn't suggested it? Do you think Cedric Diggory would have told you to hold the egg under the water if I hadn't told him first myself? Do you think Neville Longbottom, the witless wonder, would have provided you with Gillyreed if I hadn't given him the book that led you straight to it? Huh? You won because I made it so, Potter. You ended up in that graveyard tonight because it was meant to be so. And now, the deed is done. The blood that runs through these veins runs within the Dark Lord. Imagine how he will reward me when he learns that I have once and for all silenced the great Harry.
One more time for the dialect club.
We can start changing it over to songwriting.
everybody. Come on, stretch. That was a sports reference. If you don't know what that means, everybody stand. It's stretch out. It's always time. It's just bring it with the shirt. Too much stretching. All right. Let's be respectful. I know you guys have been sitting a lot today, especially those of you who haven't gotten a chance to get up and perform. But let's keep the talking to a non-existent level, and also the shuffling your butts in your seats, which makes a horrifically loud noise. Yeah, get that out now. Do that now. Oh, shit, stop. All right. Song ready? You ready? Oh yeah. Take it away. All right. So this is the songwriting class. I also taught this class. This class, we focused a lot on communication theory and songwriting, which is establishing comfort and...
2 other C words.
No.
Familiar.
That's comfort.
Surprise.
Surprise. Yes.
Closure.
Yes. Those are the 3 things that people want.
And Brad.
All of their interactions.
That's a B word.
Whatever, they also want
It was
Brad.
like this the whole time. So the first song that we're going to be doing is by Ben Thornton. Because I'm their songwriting teacher, I'm also their accompanist. And that's a real problem because I'm not very good at guitar. There will be times, I assume, that we are going to have to stop and be like, I'm sorry, I messed that up. We need to go back and do it again. That doesn't mean that their song is bad. It means that I'm bad. Me. Only me.
No, you're not, Brad.
This is Ben Thornton's song. So you play your song for yourself? No. All right. Cool. What kind of tempo do you like for this one? 1, 2, 3.
You push me over the edge. Let's be done with this, please. My time has expired. Let's try to leave. This time felt different than before. I felt it as you slammed the door. The seems for me. I can't say this anymore. I tossed and turned all night long, so I fixed my head. Tried to make a problem. And regrets felt different than before. I felt it as you slammed the door. The seems for me. I can't say this anymore. All the love times from now, I gotta stop you there. All this felt different than before. I felt it as you slammed the door. This is for me. I can't say this anymore. This felt different than before. I felt it as you slammed the door. Can't say this anymore.
We started the class with a listening exercise, and one of the things that we found was really great at establishing surprise or comfort was some kind of unique voice, and Ben Thornton certainly has that. Our next song is by Sesame Reed. My good friend Sesame Reed. Do you want to say anything about your song? Okay. No. Great. It's not about Brad.
black dress. So yeah, it was your fault, but it's too late to apologize now.
So the way that we wrote most of these songs, not all, this is an exception, right? This one wasn't scaffolded? Great, no recollection of whether it was scaffolded. The way that we wrote most of these songs as a group was, they would take a song that they already knew the whole song to, all the lyrics, all the structure and everything. They would write down all of those lyrics and just replace them with different lyrics. Just write a whole new song within the exact same structure, so that you still had verse, chorus, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, or whatever the standard structure they were using is. And then they would write a new melody, and then we would come up with new chords as a group, so that it would be a whole new song, even though we never had to come up with an original structure, which is a great way to write songs if you're interested in doing it. This song, I'm pretty sure, was not one of those scaffolded songs that we made, but if you feel like writing a song yourself, that's a good way to start. This next song is by Wenrika.
So my song is called 16, and it's not I'm not actually 16 yet, but eventually I will be. Oh my god, I'm way older than you. Anyway, I wanted to write this song, and it was weird because it was just all the stuff that was in my brain, like anything that I could think of. But yeah, this is what it came out.
Great. Almost started playing in the wrong key. All right. Here's our key.
Caught in the breeze, just waiting. Looking around 'cause I'm so bored. I feel like dying. Watching the numbers on the clock. I'm sitting on a no end. And the world comes crashing down on me. It's barely a dream. 16, I still like to go to school. Kind of losers and new shoes. 16, couldn't ask for more. 16, I guess I have to blame myself. I should have took the train, now it's going to break. The cars and buses whiz by, still waiting here, don't know why. I'm sick of this place, can hurry up to here. 16, still have to go to school. Time for losers and new shoes. 16, I couldn't ask for more. 16, I guess I have to blame myself. I should have took the train, now it's going to break. Too much stuff in my brain, don't know what to say. I think I'm losing my mind.
Let's do the bridge again.
Wait, I thought we were gonna do it slow.
Oh yeah! My bad! Totally my fault. Right here, but I'm supposed to put it slow there. And Spike made this for me. I didn't even make it myself. All right, let's go from the second chorus. 1, 2, oh 1, 2, 3, 4.
Still have to go to school. Try to lose and you
Don't even try to copy
I
me,
can't.
Brad.
I can't. All right.
Can't go on without your love, you don't seem to realize it. I'm like a swan without a dove, and still you don't realize it. You truly never cared for the love I gave you. It was just too much to be bear. Deep down we know it's true. Complicated kind of love, can't go with or without you. Like a storm from the skies above, and still the skies are bright blue. You truly never cared for the love I gave you. It was just too much to be read. Deep down we know it's true. Without you, without you, without you, oh without you. Can't go on without my love, I can't seem to realize it. You're like a swan without a dove, I can't seem to realize it. Oh, you truly never cared for the love I gave you. It was just too much to bear. Deep down we know it's true. Without you, without you, without you. Without you, why do you even try? Oh, why do you even try? Why do you even try? Oh, why do you even try? Can't go on, it's been so long. Can't go on, it's been so long. Can't go on, it's been so long. Can't go on, it's been so long.
All right. I love that song. It's so nice. Our final song is by Tracy Allard.
Hello. Woo! Okay.
Give me 1 second. I gotta finish tuning.
I'm just gonna go over my spiel.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys saw the social change performance earlier today, and it's kind of like that. But it's a rap. Usually I don't write mine down. Some of you have heard me freestyle, some of you haven't. But this is an actual written down one. And some of my people over here helped me out. So thank you all for being awesome. Cecily has an amazing saxophone solo. Cecily is great. And so you're going to see chime in at any point, let me know. And my rap name is Sassy YASI, so. Yeah.
This song is awesome, by the way. Spoiler alert.
Thanks, really nice.
No, let it speak for itself.